All right. What is going on, everybody? Hunter Day here, your district executive, and welcome to our second virtual roundtable live on YouTube this evening. Hope all of you guys are doing great out there and staying safe and enjoying this beautiful day that we had today. Um, and we are really happy you were able to join us this evening. We are also joined this evening by our one and only district commissioner, Mr. Will Bishop. Can you say hey for us, sir?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good deal. Good deal. Thanks, Will, for being on here with us. Me and Will are going to once again tag team this virtual roundtable and talk to you about all sorts of stuff going on with, some more scouting at home stuff and more opportunities that have come available since the last time we've talked. And just kind of an update on what's going on through with scouting. So first off, we want to say if you guys are joining us this evening, please let us know in the comment bar. You should see a comment bar if you're on your computer over to the right hand side. Put us a comment in there. Tell us who you are and what troop you're with, so that way we can kind of keep track of who's joining us this evening, so we can turn in our training records and all types of stuff like that. So, Jeannie, we're happy to see you on here. Thanks for joining us. One little thing I just came up with as I was cleaning my office out. The life of a professional Boy Scout accumulates a whole lot of scouting stuff that maybe doesn't serve a purpose of being in my office anymore. So tonight we're going to give some of that stuff away by doing some Camp Raven Knob trivia. And so to be able to answer questions, first person that gets it right, you can either put it in the comment bar or shoot me a text, and we'll kind of keep up with that as we go along. So we'll start with some easier questions, get some harder ones as we go through the evening. But be on your toes because I've got some pretty good items. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. So be on your toes and be ready and be thinking about camp and all sorts of dates. Remember dates. So anyways, just want to talk to you about a couple of upcoming events. We are still trying to figure out Pinewood Derby, but have not put a exact date on that at this moment. And once we kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel and we kind of get into phase 3 of our COVID-19 or out of the whole thing of the phases, we will try to get a date on that and get that rocking and rolling. Day camp for July. We're still a go. I'm going to let Will talk about that here in a little while, but we're still a go with that. Good to see all y'all chiming in here. A lot of folks from 336 and 399, 335. Good to see all y'all. Want to first off give you an update about camp for this summer. That's kind of been the talk of the week thus far. It was released on Sunday evening that we would be delaying the start of camp for the 2020 season by canceling Cub resident camp as well as weeks 1 and 2 of Scouts BSA camp. There is a lot of information online, and I will tell you it's worth taking 30 minutes and reading all of it. But there's an option for those troops affected during those weeks. I think we had three or four troops that were planning to go between weeks 1 and 2. And so there is a option to tell us if you're coming, if you want to reschedule, and then the option to pick a week to come. And so we've had several troops throughout the summer overall drop due to COVID-19. And so many campsites are opening up, but we've also added week 7, which has nobody in it except for a few units that have signed up in the past day. So if you want kind of wide open spaces and a place to sign up, I definitely kind of choose week 7 just as a outsider looking in on that. So there have been some discussions on Cub resident camp on the possibility of maybe being able to reschedule that towards the late summer, but those discussions are still very early, and we have not decided anything at this time. And so, but just keep your ears open, your eyes open on social media and the Raven Knob page for any update on that. One of the things that on the Raven Knob page, if you go to www.ravennob.com/COVID-19, you'll find all the information for regarding Cub Camp and resident camp, our policies and procedures as far as how we plan to keep camp clean and sanitized. And then there's some FAQs as well. So take some time and go check that out, so we can all be prepared for summer camp. Want to do a quick OA update. As you probably know, the Spring Fellowship event scheduled for this upcoming weekend was canceled and being replaced by a one-day event on June 13th at camp. It's a one-day event to help come and get camp set up and get the tents up and all that good stuff. And that is a free event, and you can register online. That link has been shared on the Wahissa Facebook page, so you can go check that out and sign up now. The Vigil Nominating Committee will be held this Friday. If you are registered and you have your dues paid and you are a Vigil member, you should have received an email about that. And I know Bob has been working to get all of our youth members involved with that for the voting process. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And Conclave is still scheduled for August 28th through 30th, and registration is live on that. Last night, there was a camp card sales training that took place via Zoom. I have not seen that video become available yet, but once it's available, we will share that with you guys. And pretty much David Page and Craig Dupuy from the council office talked about different ways we can sell camp cards during this time. Now, I know our camp cards were a hot commodity and they have definitely sold well. But if you still have some, or if you're sitting on some, this could be some options to help sell camp cards during our times at home. So options of selling them on social media and mailing them to people and things like that. So once that video is available, I will send that out to you guys. Also, the sale originally was extended to the end of June, and now it has been extended to July 31st. That's July 31st to sell camp cards. All right, so for the first thing we're going to do, first trivia question we are going to do, and again, you can comment this in the comments bar, or text me. I got my phone right here, so you guys can text me. I'm going to turn the sound off so it doesn't make you deaf when it goes off. But the first question this evening, and this is going to be for, this is a Wilkes County relic, a 2019 Wilkes District Spring Camp repatch. Look at that, Star Wars themed. So this right here was an awesome patch designed by the Will Bishop. So the first question for that one, we're going to make it easy. All right. What was the first summer that Raven Knob held camp? What was the first summer? All right. You can comment that and we'll keep track of it. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Will.
Okay, well, it's great to see everybody joining. We've got a good group here, and we are tracking questions, so we'll come back around to that. A lot of the stuff that we're talking about, I've got an email drafted up that has links. So like when Hunter's talking about the Raven Knob COVID-19 information, you're going to get a link in an email as soon as we're done here. And the topics I'm covering and that Hunter's covering, as much as possible, I'll send out direct links and some attachments for you. So, the first thing I want to talk about is recharter. We're still not done, although we're in really, really good shape. I want to thank everybody again. But you have to remember that recharter is not done until it is paid online and the paperwork is in council and that we've cleared up any discrepancies in the paperwork. So just because you've submitted and been approved online doesn't mean you're finished. I don't think anybody that I'm seeing right here between 336 and 335, 399, you guys are all in real good shape. So I'm working with units individually to clear up those issues. So if you get an email, just try to look at it and help us get whatever paperwork we're looking for. So day camp, as Hunter mentioned, we're still on for day camp. That's going to be 16, 17, 18 July, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We know there's going to be some different things that we have to work through. First, I'll talk about the program. I think we've got an awesome program ready to go. We're going to have a meeting on May 19th. It'll be on Zoom, and I'll send you a link to that for all of you that have been participating in those. We have just pretty much a packed schedule for those 2 evenings and one all-day Saturday. So we know there are going to be some things we need to do on medical checks. We'll talk about some of that in a minute. We also have to make sure that whatever changes we get down from the governor or from Wilkes County or from a town of North Wilkesboro, that Hunter and I are able to work on any specific requirements they would have. And Hunter and I had mentioned it, but Rob and PAC 336 had reached out to me today. Yes, we are considering the fact that we may have to scale the day camp down a little differently. You know, in a perfect world, everything stays 2 evenings and 1 all day. But if we have to adjust that, we have plenty of activities, plenty of fun stuff to go around. And if we have to scale that differently or change that, we certainly have the opportunity to do that. And yeah, we are kind of thinking about that. And we'll talk some more about that on our May 19th meeting. So stand by for a little bit more on that. But the big thing is, if you're not talking to your PACs, remember, the vast majority of our registration comes from the PACs, the parents and the cub leaders in the PAC that get those kids fired up to get out there for all the stuff we have planned. So if you're not talking to them already, find a way to start talking to them. If nothing else, just an email reminder or a note that we have that planned. So one of the changes that's come down recently, we've been working this year to try to really get more units involved in putting their service hours on the BSA Service Hour Journey to Excellence website. Well, May 6th, they turned that off, and all the service hours are going to be put in through either Scout Book, and I'll be sending out some specific information on, and I'll try to pull that up here, on Scout Book through the activity logs. Apparently that's where they're going to pull from, is whatever your Scout Book activity logs. There'll be a place there to enter it, or you can enter it on Internet Advancement 2.0. I'll be sending some links to the information and a little more background on why they're doing that. I would just encourage you to take a look at that, and because as we get back to Scout meetings, getting service hours is going to be pretty important, and we just want to get them all recorded the best way possible. Safety. So one of the things that falls under safety is related to what we're going through with all the COVID-19 stuff is Scout and Leader physical health forms that we turn in for pretty much every event that we do. When you look at this stuff on the Raven Knob website, when you look at what we're probably going to have to do for additional screenings for any events that we do, an accurate health record is important. Taking care of that health record the right way is pretty important as well. So make sure that the people that handle these in your units understand that this is protected information and they're taking care of it. And the most important thing I would say is you got to keep it up to date. So even if you've seen the kid Monday at a meeting and you're at a Friday event, you're probably still going to have to ask, hey, have there been any changes in how you or anybody in your family's feeling? Particularly looking for problems that might cause somebody not to be able to participate, or somebody that has symptoms that we don't want to participate. Unfortunately, the way things are going, is just something we're going to have to monitor and be observant of. So encourage your parents and your leaders as they're filling those health forms out, be as accurate, as detailed as possible. And then when they get to that event, you're going to want to look at them and say, has anything changed? Talk to us about how this week's going. Generally, if a kid's missing school because they don't feel good, they probably ought to miss Scouts also. And we just need to keep those things in mind. The reason I bring it up is in addition to this one topic for a BSA Safety Minute, this is one topic of about 91 topics that are currently posted under part of the BSA website on BSA Safety Minutes. And we'll be covering them at roundtables. But I'll also be sending out a link so that you can see topics, everything ranging from snake bites to cold weather to high altitude and anything in between. There's a lot of helpful information that'll help unit leaders keep safety and the Guide to Safe Scouting topics in front of you. There's short videos with fact sheets that come with each of them. I would encourage you to check that resource out. We're certainly going to be hitting up at least one of them on every roundtable from here on out. So along with recharter, next topic, Hunter.
All right, we're going to interject and answer our trivia question real quick. The The winner of the Wilkes District Spring Camp Repatch from 2019 is Miss Gina Holloway. To give you a little background on Raven Knob was held for a camporee in 1954 in the spring, and then in 1955 was the first summer camp held at Raven Knob. So, Gina, congratulations. And the second question going out, all right, you will have the chance to win a Raven Knob Scout Reservation patch from 1985. In 1985, CRK made a reservation patch along with a camp patch, and this is the reservation patch from 1985. Okay, so that question is, we're going to get it a little bit harder here. All right. The front gate at CRK, all right, the granite columns there have a date on them. What date were those installed, and what date is listed on the granite columns at the front entrance of camp? So I've got my stuff here, and we'll see what the correct answer is. All right, back to you, Will.
Good luck. We drive through that gate all the time. I should notice when I drive through next time. All right. So along with Recharter, we also work every year Journey to Excellence. I've got 8 forums in on Journey to Excellence. I'm still looking for a couple of units. Again, I think all of the units that I have here tonight, except Jeannie, if you could talk to Chase, I'll probably send him a Journey to Excellence form. Everybody else that's represented here tonight has already turned in a JTE form for 2019. And I appreciate everybody doing that. You know, it's kind of one of the things why we encourage people to come to Roundtable, because people that are usually at Roundtable usually are better up to speed on what we really need to do as a district and how units are doing things. So I thank you all for that. The 2020 Journey to Excellence is going to be adjusted. I'll send you out some notes about the specific adjustments that are going to be made to it. But basically, they understand that a lot of the measures that we have in there are going to be impacted by whether or not units can get to a long-term camp, whether or not they can get to a resident camp for Cubs, whether or not they can get number of required meetings or committee meetings or things like that. So they recognize a lot of the things that we normally try to do to maintain a quality unit are going to be impacted. So I expect there to be a change to the Journey to Excellence 2020 form for this year. And when they do that, they'll probably, hopefully, update the handy spreadsheet that they have on the BSA National site for tracking how you're doing with that. So expect some changes in JTE. We don't know exactly what the final 2020 form will look like, but we do expect it to change so that it'll reflect what we're able to do and not do here with everything going on. So getting back to scouting, normally, when are we going to be able to do that? Well, we all hope we're going to be able to do that as soon as possible. And so one of the things we would normally do at a May roundtable, particularly on the Cub Scout side, but it applies to the Boy Scout side too, is we would take a look at program planning for the next school year, because typically our scout years follow the school year, with summer camp and day camp being the end of the year, and then fall recruiting and a good fall kickoff calendar being important in the August, September, October timeframe. So I want you to think about, I asked you last month to think about what that next unit meeting looks like. I would also ask you to think about what that next unit committee and program meeting for a Cub Pack looks like, where you sit down and look at the calendar starting in the August, September timeframe. And then for a Boy Scout troop, if you haven't had a lot of meetings and you've run out of your calendar event, when you have time at Raven Knob, some of the troops, when they are at Raven Knob, they actually sit down with their scouts and start planning out things they want to add to the calendar, subtract from the calendar, different activities they want to try to do. So I'm all excited to get to camp and get to day camp and all that. But when we do, remember, we got fall coming up, and I want you to think about your fall program calendar for your youth. So if you haven't put any time into that, make a note and be ready to think about that the next time you get together. So Hunter, that's what I have for now. So I'm going to pass it back over to you. And I want to see who knows what date is on the gate entry to Camp Raven Knob.
All right. Well, it was definitely much quieter this go around on taking guesses, but I unfortunately we only had one person get it right. All right. There was a couple in the last one, but some of you a little late. And this person does not hail from the Wilkes district, so I'm debating whether they're an ineligible recipient of this 1985 patch, and he may have cheated. But this patch is going to young Weston Mosley, our camp program director, who only lives about 20 feet away from the gate. So I'm going to think about giving this to him, but we'll see what happens. All right. So congratulations, Weston, I reckon. All righty. Next item up for giveaway. All right. This one's actually kind of rare. So if you guys are a camp collector, this is going to be something you're going to want in your collection at some point. In 2015, camp made a neckerchief. It was the first camp neckerchief that had been made in quite some time, specific to the year. Okay. And it looks a little bit like this right here. All right. 150 of these were sent back to the print to add a little staff right there. Okay. So these are pretty rare. And this would be a really neat item to add to your CRK collection. And the question is, okay, I'm going to make this one a little easier. And get your phones ready or get your texting ready on here. What facility was the original dining hall at Camp Raven Knob? So hopefully that's easy enough for you. All righty, and I've got everything rolling here, and we'll keep close attention to it. All right. Oh, sorry, 1956 was the date on the camp gate, 1956. All righty. So want to talk to you a little bit about scouting at home and some new things that have come out over the past month. Nothing really, life-changing, but it's some new ideas that have come out. The first of which that I definitely want to promote is Raven Knob University, which I'm awful proud of right now. So we're going to share the screen really quick, and I'm going to take you guys over here with me. All right. So Raven Knob University, this is an opportunity for any kid in a troop to earn some merit badges while they're at home for no cost. This is an amazing program that the folks and the admin team over at Raven Knob have put together. And right now they have 15 merit badges available. And I think they've got about at least three more weeks of merit badges scheduled to come out. And several Eagle required ones already in the mix. Citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, communication, and family life. Those ones right there, those are four pretty big ones that you need to get your Eagle, and an awesome opportunity to take care of those while you are sitting at home. So knock those out, and it's an opportunity to use it through Google Classroom, so you really work at your own pace. It's not like meeting here tonight at a certain time. You hop on when you want to and knock out a few requirements at a time. So really neat opportunity, and you can find that at ravennob.com/online. And we've created a new trend, which is hashtag New Merit Badge Monday. Every Monday, we will have new merit badges dropping. And so best way to keep track of that is on the Old Hickory Council Facebook page. So that's where we post it, or the Raven Knob page. So on Facebook. So keep track of those things. The other thing that has happened in the past few weeks is that the national organization has put together a page called scouting.org/scouting at home. And anybody can find this. This has some really neat opportunities for anybody in a pack or a troop. And so if you remember, we talked about the 30-day challenges that were posted by our folks at like the Hawkeye Area Council out in Iowa. National has come up with their own 30-day challenges. And you can see right here, if you're able to see that, it's broken down into K through 2 and 3 through 4 grade levels for scouts to do some 30-day challenges. So let's click on one of these real quick, and you can see what kind of format we're dealing with here. So we're clicking on the K through 2. And so what it does is each day it gives you something to work on. It's not necessarily an adventure, but it's just something to work on. And like right here, it's talking about the first thing. It gives you a video for each one, which is really neat. So you don't have to read it. And then day one, saving energy. So pretty cool things, daily exercises, first aid, day and night animals, some really neat opportunities and classes to take on here. So be sure to share this with your packs so that they have these opportunities. Okay. And there is just all sorts of stuff in here. There's more resources that you guys can look at. 58 merit badges Scouts can complete at home. I mean, we are home for quite some time at this point, and I don't think the end is quite at us yet. But plenty of opportunity to work online and at home and knock some of this stuff out. Here's a thing right here from Boys Life of different projects that can be completed at home. So some hands-on projects. That looks like they're making slime right there. I'm sure many of our Cub Scout parents are very familiar with making slime at this point. So you either love it or you hate it. And if you love it, you can join Miss Mary Beth Bishop in making it sometime, and she's a big fan of making some slime. So this is a really neat opportunity, guys, and we'll have this link available for you afterwards, and we'll email it out. But it's scouting.org/scouting at home, and you guys can check that out. So really neat opportunity. And last time we talked, well, actually, we're going to get back to trivia real quick because I got a few more items after this one to give out. So the question was, what was the first dining hall at Camp Raven Knob? And I am proud to say that our district chairwoman, Miss Penny Sawyer, gave the correct answer. So she will be getting this sweet 2015 Camp Raven Knob staff neckerchief. So really neat one to add to collection. Hadn't seen too many of them since those came out. All righty. So we got a few more questions, and this time, all righty, let's see what we're going to give out. I got so much stuff. All right, we're going to give out a brand new, let me move my screen here real quick. Remove that. All right, we're going to give out a brand new, not been sweated in camp t-shirt. All right, this might be a staff t-shirt, actually. I got a size large and I got a size extra large, okay? So this is I think it's a 2017 camp t-shirt. All right, not sweated in, brand new in the package. So the question is, all righty, the question is, let's make this one a little harder. Let's not go too hard. What year was the camp or the OA arena rebuilt, the new OA arena? What year was it installed and first used? All right. So you can text me, you can submit online, and we'll be looking for that answer for I think it's a 2017 camp staff t-shirt. So check that out. All righty. And let's see. All right. Hang on one second. Got misplaced there. So the last thing I want to talk to you about this evening before we do a little bit more trivia and get it back over to Will is our Friends of Scouting campaign. And just want to give a general update to everyone out there. We have recently reached 75% of our Friends of Scouting campaign. And we were able to move that bar up a little bit over the past few weeks and make some progress. But we're still not there yet. And one of the biggest challenges we are facing right now has not being able to get out to our family presentations with our units. And so we are doing everything we can to continue the scouting program and making sure that we're doing as much scouting stuff as we can from right here at home and providing that program to folks. And so if you are willing for 2020 to make a contribution to the Old Hickory Council, shoot me a text. Shoot me an email, call me after this, and we can get that pledge in. Of course, you got until the end of the year to make a contribution, but we, as a nonprofit, are going through a difficult time, and as we know, most families are. But if you are able to contribute to the Friends of Scouting campaign, you can shoot that pledge over to me, text message, email, or you can give online at the Old Hickory Council website, and we'll send that link out as well. And so we've certainly appreciated everybody that has donated this far and helped us get to 75%. and 100% is inside at this point. So we're very excited about that. But if you would like to contribute, just let us know and we'll go ahead and get you in there. All right. So not too many answers coming in on when the OA Arena was built, but my phone has buzzed a few times. So let's take a look at it. Oh, no. All right. Nobody has gotten that one right yet. So we're going to move on to the next one. It was built in 2006 was the year that the OA Arena was installed. It started installation in the fall and the winter of 2005 and was first used in 2006. So maybe we'll get back to another time of giving out a fresh t-shirt. All right. The last question, and this one's difficult. And before I give you this question, I'm going to encourage everybody when they attend camp this summer or they are there the next time, ask someone for the camp scavenger hunt page. All right. These are all questions directly from the CRK scavenger hunt page. Okay. So be sure to check that out and you can get all these answers from there and learn a whole bunch. And so I wouldn't know this answer that I'm about to, of the question I'm about to tell, if it wasn't for that scavenger hunt. So way, way, way back in the day, all right, there used to be a campsite, okay, at the dance arbor behind Raven Scouts. What was the name of that campsite? And up for grabs, this is a really neat prize right here. You will be able to take home your own Camp Raven Knob flag. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, hang in your office or at your house or something like that. These things are sweet. All right. So, what was the name of the campsite? That was at the dance arbor at camp behind the Raven Scouts area. All right. Y'all let me know, and we got some prizes up for grabs. All right. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Will, and he's going to kind of wrap things up for us unless I come up with something else. So, Will?
Okay, just as a reminder, I'm typing furiously every time Hunter showed you a link or talked about a different part there. I've got the link ready to go out in an email so you can come back and look at some of those resources later. One of the things I would encourage you to do, it kind of hits me as I go around and look at different units, and all of our units are successful at different things, but I will tell you the units that tend to be most successful at the most things are the units that attend Roundtable and hear different things that are going on. And I'm really just looking forward to a chance where we can all be in the same room, even if we have to spread out a little further than we're used to. But I would encourage you to share this video once it's posted. It'll be a YouTube video that anybody can click on, and the link will be in the email that I send out. So feel free to forward that email and all of these resources out. You just might have a parent sitting on the sideline, and they might start looking at these links, and you might pique their interest in something, and maybe get them engaged as a leader. So all that information will go out. I actually have the scavenger hunt worksheet, but I don't have the answer key. So I'll try to dig up the worksheet, but it has no answers. You'll have to hunt it down yourself next time you go to Raven Knob. They do that every year at Council Camporee. And some of the kids really got into tracking those things down as they were moving around camp during the day. And there's some hard questions there. So be sure you share this information. I would also encourage you to go around and check out the Facebook pages of other units, web pages. I think a couple of units still have web pages, but go around and check those out. There's a couple of units that have really been putting some great stuff up on Facebook and doing their activities through Zoom or through Facebook challenges. And I think as the stuff that Hunter's provided us, along with those 30-day challenges, there's any number of ways we can keep scouts engaged. In fact, one of the possible opportunities for a day camp activity, if we have to restructure that, was talking with one of our day camp staffers earlier. We even have the opportunity to mail out a day camp activity or send out activities for day camp that people can do, families can do at home with their cubs too. So anything we can do to keep folks engaged until the time we can start gathering again as packs and troops or as dens and patrols if we have to stay small. And I would encourage you also, just one last time, if you joined us after we started, get in the comments section and type a comment and let me know who else is here. I'm keeping roll. We've got a pretty good attendance sheet going so far. So while Hunter's going over the last answer to the last question, I would just say jump in there. And if you haven't already typed a comment in so I can see who's been on with us today, please do that. And then again, share this video. It'll be up shortly after we're done here. So Hunter, before I close this out, do you have anything else you got to go over? Did you get a winner for this last one?
I did not get a winner for this last one. I have stumped you guys on the last two questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to like say thank you and all that good stuff, and then we're going to hang out for like 2 more minutes to give out this because I want these things gone essentially, which they're really neat things. So what we're going to do is I'm going to answer that question. The campsite that used to be at where the dance arbor is there behind the Raven Scouts area was Navajo campsite. Okay, Navajo campsite. All right. So we're going to do one question right now, and I'm going to give you until we say goodbye, and then I'm going to give you another question. So this question, pretty easy. What was the use of the log cabin at CRK? The log cabin that sits right in the middle of the camp, what were those used as? And this is for the T-shirt, and we'll do one again for the flag here in a second. But what was that used for? So just want to say thank you so much for joining on here, and I really appreciate all of what you guys have done during this crazy time to continue scouting in your units. I've been, privileged to sit in on a few of those meetings and a few committee meetings and things like that. And it's just amazing to see scouting happen during this just weird time. So it seems like when scouting or when the world and things like that are in its most difficult place, scouting sometimes or usually always appears to rise to the top to continue the program and also serve their community. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the Old Hickory Council a few weeks ago launched an initiative for a virtual food drive. And so what we wanted to do, instead of encouraging our scouts and parents to get out and collect food like a normal Scouting for Food campaign, we were encouraged to try to raise a few dollars for our local food banks. And so we serve many food banks. And so I just picked one of the ones that we served. And so I picked Samaritan's Kitchen of Wilkes, and they great folks there. And I drove by there. I've been to Wilkes once or twice since all this happened. I've mainly been at home, but I drove by one day and there was a line out the door of people collecting food. And so when I saw that, I felt the need to make sure that our local food banks were taken care of. And I've started a fundraiser on Facebook on the council page, and I've shared that around a little bit. And I think we've raised about $115 thus far. And just so you know the impact that $1 is giving to them right now, they are able to buy food at 10 cents on the dollar. So a $10 donation, you're buying $100 worth of food for our community. And so at $115, we're over $1,000 worth of food purchased for our community. And by giving a gift to them, they're able to identify the need of the community. Because you get a lot of folks that just kind of give, a lot of soup. Well, they got to have something to match that soup with and things like that. So this serves them best to get the food that's appropriate to match that up with folks. But it's making a huge impact on our community. And so I would encourage you, if you can give on their website as well. Just put in the memo line BSA. We want to kind of keep track of what we've done so we can record that in our Scouting for Food numbers for the year. But we certainly appreciate anybody that is willing to give towards that effort. And tonight I'm going to give my $20 to that effort to help buy some food for our communities. And if you're able to throw in, $2, $5, $10, or whatever it be, we would greatly appreciate that. So again, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to answer this last question. All right. And it appears that our very own Will Bishop has taken the prize. The log cabin. So to give you a little bit of history about the log cabin that sits right there in the middle of the camp. One, I've spent many nights in that cabin, and it's got a fantastic air conditioner on the side of it. But it has been transformed over the years as serving as just staff quarters with no bathroom or anything like that. And originally it was 2 tobacco barns. And so one sat there and one sat relatively close. But if you look close enough to that cabin, you can tell there's about a gap this big in the middle of it where they pushed 2 tobacco barns together. So Will Bishop, you are going home with a 2017 staff shirt from Camp Raven Knob. All right.
Awesome.
Now this one is pretty easy to wrap it up. Going back to the flag here. This is a neat flag. What is, actually not even that. Who is the current dining hall that we eat in named after? Who is it honoring? All right. That if y'all miss this one, I'm gonna be disappointed because the name is plastered on the front in very big letters and on the inside. Yep, it's there. So submit your answers. Text it to me. Submit it. I hope you guys can get this one right. It is named after a guy that's very familiar in the Mount Airy area. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna try to get somebody that hadn't won something real quick. So you can throw your name in the hat there. There we go. We got a winner, Mr. Brian Holloway. All right, Mr. Holloway, you're going to get this lovely flag here. I'm actually going to drop all this stuff in the mail to you guys in the next few days because I got to go to the post office anyways, and I have all of your addresses because I have that in the system. So I'm actually going to, Brian, I'm going to send this to Gina along with her patch there so you guys can collect those things. But we certainly appreciate you guys being on here tonight. And Will, if you have anything else,
I would just say the fact that you take a few minutes out of your month and your busy schedule to attend Roundtable makes a big difference for your units. Like I said, we got a lot of great things going on in these units, and the units to do the most things the bestest are the ones that have regular attendance at Roundtable. So for taking the time to do it, I certainly appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Sorry, I didn't answer the question. I tell people they got it right, but I didn't tell them what the answer was. The answer is the Harry R. Vaughn Dining Hall. So we had several people get it right. So good eye. It's funny. Most of the people that are texting me right now, those cook crew folks that are used to sitting in there and sweeping the floor and stuff. So they've seen that name a few more times than some others. So I appreciate everybody joining, and good job winning some stuff this evening. I just need to make a few notes of who won what, so I make sure everything gets out to you guys. And all righty. Well, that's all I got. Will, I appreciate it. And we really hope to be seeing you guys soon. We are both dying to get back into scouting. Just to put on this uniform and stand in front of a camera is kind of depressing. I'd much rather get out with you guys and with our kids and get back to it. So I'm looking forward to a really great day camp in July and getting back out there and having some fun and shooting some BB guns and some arrows and all sorts of stuff. There's no telling. It's down on the farm. There's no telling what's going to go down. We might have a goat show up. We might have a tractor show up. It could be crazy. So anyways, well, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Hunter.